Okie silly dokio.
Holy shit. Hey, babe. I'm drinking a triple. Babe. Oh, no. Oh, it's so good.
Going outside, just like I like it.
It's a pretty big fish to fry. It's a pretty big fish to fry. My, oh, my. My. It's a pretty big fish to fry. It's a pretty big fish to fry. My, oh, my. Last weekend I barely thought I'd make it out alive. Told myself I'd take some time and give the world a try. I was alive. My, oh, my.
Oh, everybody, it is Wednesday, February the 21st. For those of you checking us out through the podcast world, for those of you on Facebook Live, you know we come the night before. Tuesday, February the 20th. It's Lowen Outside, lowenoutside.com. Thanks for taking the time, everybody. We truly appreciate you stopping by. We are dubbing tonight's show, as promised, the 11% show. It is Brett Gardner Appreciation Night. And so let's waste no more time and lead off like Gardner.
Why don't you go back home to your strip malls and drink your Zimas and Smirnoff Ices? Oh, yeah! The greatest beer in all Zephyr!
Somebody from the bar.
Yeah, I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. Cause I'm feeling kind of parched. Stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge.
Tonight, coming to you from Long Trail Brewing Company, clocking in at 11% alcohol by volume. It is Long Trail Brewing Triple Bag.
Triple bag. Never comes the night before.
That's really good.
You have a nice snifter or
Good.
whatever it is.
Brett, you want to tell the story about this snifter?
Jeff was hitting on a guy so hard one night
No.
and we went back to a hotel after we busted his balls. He invited the guy back to the hotel. Okay. And we get into the hotel. And
Tell
all
the
of a
story
sudden,
properly. Just don't lead with Jeff was hitting on some guy. That's weird.
Pretty good
but,
intro.
But that is what happened. All right. So we went to Omagong Brewing. All right. And we were up there for a bachelor party. So we take we go in and we take the tour and we start sipping.
For those who don't know where that is,
Near Cooperstown, New York.
We were up there for Paul. Do you remember Paul?
no.
Come on. Hang on.
That Paul? Remember that guy? Yeah.
That guy.
Baseball's right around the corner, Paul. Yeah, his bachelor party.
Yeah,
Whatever,
we went
yeah,
to
Paul.
a bachelor party, and we were at Omagong, and a certain man gave us a tour and poured us samples, and Jeff, as each beer went down, Jeff became more and more passionate in what this man was saying, and he was just so every word from this guy's mouth, Jeff was like, "Wow, yeah, oh, really? That's awesome. This is excellent." And he got so drunk, he invited the guy to come hang out with us after in a hotel. But when we got back to the hotel, this is how you got the glass.
Yeah.
We randomly walked into a weird Duval pouring contest, if I remember. They gave you the glass,
Duvel.
Yeah, Duval's in The Godfather.
Yeah.
and you had to pour it
Right.
according to their specifications.
Yeah.
And if you got the amount of head right on your pour, you got to keep the glass.
Right.
And I guess you did a good job.
There's no doubt Jeff knows how to get the head right
Apparently, after I was hitting on a dude
in the hotel.
relentlessly. I'm telling you, if you got anybody else that was at this event, on,
they
on the
all
podcast,
would say the exact same thing. There's no discrepancy on the story from any other person that was there. That's allegedly what happened, and I can't argue it because I was apparently inebriated to the point. But apparently, I was still able to pour a beer.
yes.
Oh, the NCAA will be looking into your alleged events.
Well, this was your idea. This 11%er. So why don't you take Campo?
Oh, I'd love to. Thanks for asking.
Great.
So in my nerdy beer trading, a la Brett, I grabbed Sensei from
Like a month ago, you're making fun of me for trading. Now you're on the show like, I traded this.
I did actually trade for this beer, which makes me a huge loser. However, it is a triple IPA called Sensei from the Aslan Beer Company. It is apparently the big brother of Master of Karate, which must be a double IPA. But what I like about this is it reminds me of Daniel LaRussa's The Can.
Daniel LaRussa.
Reminds me of Daniel LaRussa's headband.
Daniel LaRussa's going to fight.
Anyway, this is, I don't know, it tastes pretty boozy to me, actually. But it is delicious. It's fruity. Not going to be able to hide the booze from my wife, or the hockey team I'm playing at 9:50 tonight, but that's neither here nor there.
Nice.
Delicious.
All right, Brett.
Last time I talked about one of these beers, this is a new beer that I brought to the show, but last time I was singing on the show, to intro this beer. I was singing. It's the most wonderful time of the year because it was the most wonderful time of the year for regular coffee. And so what Carton does every year with the regular coffee is they make some variants. And one year they did Irish coffee and had like a creme de menthe kind of thing with this regular coffee that they make. They did one last year called Cafe Churro, and it was kind of like a vanilla cinnamon play with coffee. Excellent. Tasted like a churro. So the one they did this year, one of the ones they did this year is it's a German variant. So it's got the coffee, it's regular coffee, but it's also a cherry and almond, and it's called Kaffee und Kuchen.
Nice.
And it's a 12% variant of regular coffee.
I'm pretty upset you're drinking that right now during the Winter Olympics.
You're right. My passion might be in the wrong place, but it's a Jersey beer. So Jersey's from the United States of America.
True story.
Last time I checked.
So I feel pretty good about that.
Not gonna lie to you. If you just hold that up one more time,
Surely.
it looks like wrap your hand around it like you had before. It looks small in your hand. Like I don't know.
That's a 12-ounce can, isn't
It's
it?
a regular can.
Yeah, this is a pounder. Or I'm sorry, this is 16 ounces.
Yeah, this is a regular.
Pounder's 24.
I feel like Andre the Giant.
You look like Andre the Giant, but at least I don't know that
Anybody want a peanut?
I don't think Andre can say he's finished a Warrior Dash, which apparently you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next time I'll wear my Tough Mudder finisher shirt.
You should.
Who cares?
Solid segue. All right. The
Hit
NBA,
it.
the NBA All-Star Weekend was this weekend.
Possibly the worst pregame show of all time.
Well, it was really long too.
It was like 29 minutes too long. It was 30 minutes, and it was Rob Riggle and Kevin Hart. Just, I don't know what they were doing. What the fuck were they
Walk me
doing?
through it, because I missed that. I missed that, and I missed Fergie's national anthem.
I don't want to walk you through it because it was excruciating.
What they do that sucks so bad? Because I liked the game.
Rob,
Well, I didn't watch any of the games, so I watched this and then fell asleep. I just got lost. But they just were trying to be funny and doing skits, and it was a disaster.
It's gonna be unpopular right here. Rob Riggle reminds me of you, like hardcore.
Me?
Yeah.
Thank
Such
God.
a compliment.
Thank God you did not say me. That was up in the air. You were like you, and I was like, "Fuck, don't be me." Don't be me.
Well, I mean, that was a disaster, and then it led right into Fergie's rendition of the national anthem, which I don't know.
Have you not heard it, Brett?
I heard it now. I watched the full clip of it.
What did she do? Who? I want to know something.
Yeah.
Who told her? How many times did she probably practice this? By the way, who told her that this was a good idea? That's a great rendition. I think you should go with that instead of just fucking singing the national anthem.
I don't think it was that bad.
I don't think it was either. It wasn't good, but I don't think it was.
No.
but it wasn't that bad. I hear bad anthems all the time. I feel like so. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. It's no Arlette. Okay.
Now you, from your lips to God's ears. My friend.
Oh, I love me some Arlette.
We all love Arlette. Arlette.
Arlette?
Arlette.
I think I can help with the whole Arnett Arlette dilemma.
That's been a while. We haven't had that one. Like
That's because Sean's a jerk off.
She sang at the last game I went to. It was
Fergie?
In 2012?
No. All right. This is off the rails. Let's go back.
Okay. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Like people made way more of an issue out of it than it needed to be. It was very breathy. It was very Marilyn Monroe-esque.
Did Marilyn Monroe sing the national anthem like that?
She sang that.
Wait, she sang "Happy Birthday" to John Kennedy.
John Kennedy.
I just don't gussy it up. Just fucking get out there and sing it. Don't be stupid.
All these idiots do that though. They all have to take like a unique take. They like sing different words like twice. It's like, no, that's not what the song is. Just sing the fucking song. It's okay to just sing the song and do it well, like Whitney did. When
Exactly. It's Super Bowl 25. And here's the thing. We're just feeding the fire, right? Because this is what she wants. Now she's relevant again for a short period of time. So fuck her.
I don't think it's what she wants, dude. I think
Yes,
what she wants is everyone to be like, did you hear how great that version?
Yes, that's her ideal outcome.
Yeah.
It's never a good sign when all the players are laughing at you.
They were. Steph Curry was laughing.
And so Draymond was openly laughing. Like he wasn't even hiding it.
But Draymond Green's is a mouth breather anyway. He's got his mouth open all the time.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay. Hey, babe. It's you.
Hey, I'm breathing 11% of pure alcohol on your face.
Brett, you said you liked the game.
I really did. I watched the first quarter and the fourth quarter, and like, God, Columbus just ripped one back.
Oh, you watched like the worst part of the game. Like
I thought the fourth quarter was awesome.
You watched like the cookie of the Oreo.
I don't know. I thought it was great. Like at the end of the third quarter when I turned it on, nobody, like honestly, there were people playing that I didn't know were all-stars. Like I was like, I don't even know who that guy is. And at the start of the fourth quarter, everybody checked in. And they played a really fun fourth quarter of basketball. There was actually some defense, especially at the very end. And I complained, maybe last week on the show, 2 weeks ago on the show, that I liked baseball being the most closest and accurate representation to the game. But that fourth quarter in the NBA All-Star game was like amazing to me. And I thought that was the most accurate representation of an actual NBA game. So it was fun. I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't disagree with that, but the problem is they still allowed like 135, 140 points or something.
Yes. It got sloppy from what I heard in the second and third quarter. I don't know. I mean, at least it was better than last year. Wasn't last year like 197, 194?
Last year was embarrassing.
Yeah, and the over-under dropped like 34 points like a day before tip-off because they like got wind that people were actually going to play defense.
That can't be a good sign if your over-under tanks like 25, 30 points.
I don't know. To me, I think it is a good sign. It's like, all right, well, finally, we're not going to get like somebody's not shooting for 200.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's not a good sign if you bet the over.
No, not at all. But if you watch that especially that last possession, the LeBrons were like, no Curry. Like you're not getting the shot off. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Like it was like shades of Matthew Dellavedova in the finals like a couple of years ago. Remember that dopey white guy who just like shadowed Steph Curry for like the first 3 games of the finals and just like wouldn't.
Yeah, the Australian, mate.
Yeah, that's what it was. They just would not let the guy get the shot off. And finally, he passed the ball, and it didn't happen. So I thought that was kind of cool, but I don't know.
What was it?
All-Star games are kind of lame to me. Did either of you watch any of the stuff that led up to it, like the dunk contest or the 3-point contest or any of that stuff?
No.
I didn't watch any of it. So
That's how good podcasters we are. Like, yo, did you watch the big event this weekend? We're like, nope.
to be fair, it's not a big event. I'm sorry, it's just not. Like I understand that it's a major sport in America, and I understand that it's what they it's what they do, and that's fine. But I can't get excited about Larry Nance's kid in the dunk contest.
Why not? He replicated his dad's dunk. It was amazing.
And some moron who wins the dunk contest takes his shirt off and has a Vince Carter jersey on. Stop, just fucking stop. Put LeBron in the dunk contest, or I'm not watching.
Let Steph shoot the threes.
Yeah, it's that simple. I mean, put these guys in. Otherwise, why are they there? It's a waste of my time. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. And
that's why it's in.
Oh, hold on. I gotta.
Who cares?
I'm gonna be a little lazy tonight with this 11% beer.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little slow.
But you know what I did watch that I sent a picture to Brett over the. I guess it had to have been at some point before. It was before the Rising Stars or the Celebrity Game or whatever the hell it was. They had a Shaq and Kobe sit down on TNT where they just went through like their entire history together. It was awesome. Like TNT did such a good job. They basically just looked at each other and laughed the entire time. The line of the entire program was Shaq asked Kobe, do you think I was mad when you won your 5th title? And Kobe just looks at him and goes, oh, absolutely. And Shaq just goes, I tore up my house. I was so pissed. He goes, because I'm looking at him going, there's no way I'm going to get to 5. And he's got 5. There's just no way. And they were just both laughing and yucking it up. And then he goes, would you be mad if I signed with Golden State this next year just to get another ring? I mean, it was really funny. It was good. And the best part about it for me was typically years later, you see these types of things and guys like that, they're like, oh, we really regret that we did that. Neither one of them said anything close to that. They were just like, nope, that's just what happened, man. We went our separate ways. No regrets. That's what it is. It was cool. It was cool to watch. I was interested to see some of it. Some of the stories about how Kobe showed up to practice one day and he was convinced that they were just going to get in a fist fight. It's like, why would you ever want to fight Shaquille O'Neal? Like,
I love Kobe Bryant so much. He's amazing.
When I'm not on the show and Brett's like reminiscing and talking about like, not reminiscing, but he's talking about the Nets. I just want to slap him in the face and be like, you were a fucking Lakers fan when they were winning for no reason.
For Kobe Bryant. I love him so much.
Stupid. Basketball's stupid.
Yeah, if I didn't see it, but wasn't there a period where like Shaq admitted that pretty much in the offseason he got fat and lazy and didn't really work hard. And Kobe was like, that's why I didn't like you.
If that happened, it must have been like 10 minutes because I like turned into it like 15 minutes late. So I didn't.
I heard Michael K talking about it yesterday. He was raving about it too.
It was awesome. And your point was well taken. You were like, how is that not a 30 for 30? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would watch
Kobe, I'd watch that in a heartbeat, man.
He did talk about the first super team that they put together with Malone,
with Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
Gary Payton went there, and Kobe like took ownership of it. He's like, it was my fault. It's like I didn't get them, accustomed to who we were, what we needed to do. It was my fault. And Shaq just was silent. He didn't fucking say anything.
That team should have won, no problem. I don't care how good at defense the Pistons were. That team should have won a title.
Yeah, I mean, look, especially if you had the greatest coach in the history of basketball, coaching the team. All right.
Yeah, we get it, Dave. You don't like basketball. Let's talk about hockey for the next 25 minutes.
I think we should because you like hockey, so don't act like you don't.
Well, we can talk about hockey if you'd like.
Talk about the Daytona 500. Sorry.
That's not on our list, but if you'd like.
Exactly.
Oh, it's on my list, dog.
The Olympics are on. I don't know if anybody's been watching them. The men's hockey team got smoked by the Olympic athletes from Russia. causing a tremendous rise in apparel and merchandise and music sold for the band OAR. Surprising.
That's not surprising at all.
I just think it's a weird connection.
I mean,
They got
I
some-
love Of a Revolution.
Did not know they were still together.
Oh yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah.
That was like college jams right there.
The crazy game of poker.
Yeah, it was, but honestly, like I can name 3 of their songs.
That's about it.
So that's
You know, they play a PNC every year. I think.
Who wouldn't want to get down to some of this while watching OAR and the United States?
I feel like
Right?
I feel like I need a hacky sack.
I feel like I should be drinking a margarita and Jimmy Buffett's jerking off in front of me.
Or we could just be miserable drinking drinks at the tiki bar at the Windfall or the Windless. I don't know. This 11% might have been a bad idea.
That was brutal.
But let's talk about Olympics. Let's talk about Olympics.
Hold on. So let's talk briefly about the Russia, non-Russia Olympic athlete from Russia.
I don't get it.
Like, why are they allowed to play as a team wearing jerseys that are everything short of just saying Russia?
Right? They're red, white. They're red and white. They don't have any blue.
Did any of you guys see? I should have texted this to you guys. Did any of you guys see the documentary on Netflix called Icarus?
No.
No,
is
I don't have all this free time.
It is entirely about the Russians and their doping with Olympic athletes. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long. It is fascinating, and it explains literally everything about why we are where we are today with Russia. And the documentary starts with a cyclist who competes in this race in 2016. That's like just the notch below the Tour de France.
So it's the Amazing Race on CBS.
Yes. So it's a notch below Tour de France. And he does it the first year in 2015, all natural. And he finishes out of 400 cyclists, he finishes 14th. So then he decides, I'm going to make a documentary myself for a year training with dope, with steroids, and see how it improves me from one year to the next. Because his claim was there were 10 guys above him in that race that were just in another stratosphere compared to everybody else.
Yeah, because they were all doped up.
So he gets
were
in
high?
contact. He gets in contact with this Russian guy who led the Russian anti-doping lab in Russia for years, and he led the anti-doping lab, but also developed all the great steroid cycles for their athletes.
Yep.
And the state-sponsored program, and Putin knew about it, and Putin signed off on it, and it follows this guy pretty much for an hour and 40 minutes. It's fascinating, and I don't mean to get off on a tangent on why they're wearing those jerseys and what that is, but it was incredible, and anybody of our listeners should check it out because it's
Name of it again?
best doc. Icarus.
I did hear. I listened to a New York Times podcast every day called The Daily, and they interviewed that doctor that you're talking about, who was he was running the testing operation for the entire Olympic Games in Sochi. And then at the end of the day, they had set up a Fugazi lab in like a janitor's closet. So he would throw on a Russian Olympic team sweatshirt and go down to his janitor's closet and work all night, where he would take the bottles, the urine samples from the Russian athletes, pass them through a fist-size hole in the wall, literally a glory hole. He would pass them through to
That's a big glory hole.
some freaking KGB operative in the next room who would take the tamper-proof top off. He would give it to the scientist, who would then like doctor the urine sample with things like coffee and tea and all sorts of weird, like normal everyday bullshit to fuck with the sample to pass it. And the entire government knew. And now he's living in Los Angeles because 2 of the guys he did it with were killed by the government.
Yes, they were.
Because they didn't want them to find out.
How crazy is it that they developed the technology to get the tops of the tamper-proof bottles off and reseal them without any
How's that possible?
detect? Technology.
All of that leads me to this question. Why are they allowed here?
I don't know, but did you hear that one of the guys who won a bronze, or he won a medal? I think it was a bronze. He apparently was doping as well, and they just caught him. It's like
This year.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. Yes. It's like you're here under the Olympic athletes of Russia and you got caught again. It's ridiculous.
I legitimately don't understand. Like, I get it. They're like, oh, you can't punish the athletes who like, no, you can. You can punish the athletes. You tell the country, sit down, put your head down on the desk, put your big head down on the desk. You're not allowed to compete. End of story.
Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, good for Mark Roberge and OAR because it's a resurgent comeback. Hey, listen, there's listeners in Russia. They buy albums too.
That's Vidania. But so the U.S. gets smoked by Russia, and then they beat who'd they beat this last?
They beat Slovakia last night.
Slovakia to get
Which, by the way, Slovakia beat Russia in the first game.
We looked slow.
Which is surprising because one of the things about the U.S. team is it's supposed to be their speed. But you know, you can't help but lose a little bit of like chutzpah for this because there's no NHL players.
Well, that's the thing that annoys me. But they didn't go with strict college guys.
No, they have like a who's who of like rentals in the NHL, like Brian O'Neill. Yeah, that guy played for the Devils for like 25 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do it, just do it. You know, go old school with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's all good. They got another game tonight against Czech
right?
Republic. Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern.
But
Standard.
now it's single elimination, right? If they lose, they're done, right?
Yeah, well, last night was single. They had to keep. Last night was single elimination.
I
as
mean,
well.
like, as of last night, that's
correct. Yeah, so they had to play into a quarterfinal matchup. Czech Republic obviously has been waiting for a couple days.
They're
We'll see
3-0
what happens.
too. Czechs are 3-0.
Yeah, I think what's really tough is basically you got a bunch of college kids and a bunch of former NHLers. You got Zapolsky, who I love because Yampolsky, Zapolsky, both goalies were both probably very similar body types. We're both fit, and he's an all-star at the KHL, and I'm just a loser on a podcast drinking 11% beer on a Tuesday night in my child's playroom. However,
all that is true.
However, I think what's tough for the U.S. guys, is, especially the defensemen, this is a bigger sheet of ice than these guys have played on for most of their career, right? The college kids in particular. That rink is, I think it's 15 feet wider, right? I think it's 80 by 200 in the NHL, and I think it's like 95 by 200 in Olympics. So that makes a big difference. And I don't know. It's not as much fun, but it's still fun to root for USA Hockey. It's house money at this point. If they can pull off an upset tonight, it's total house money playing in the semis. And we'll see what happens. But,
How lame is the fact that the women's hockey is tomorrow? It's the final, and it's at 11:10 at night.
I don't know, but that game against Canada is going to be good.
I know.
The first one was awesome.
I want to watch it, and 11 o'clock at night is just not in my repertoire.
Well, it goes back to what we had said that they just shouldn't run these games on anything other than Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yeah, that was selfish American talk, which I'm fine with because that's what I am.
Speaking of selfish Americans, we are on pace to have the lowest medal count in like 20 years.
But we pushed on the over-under. If you recall, a couple weeks ago, I told you the over-under was 10.
Vegas set that as the over-under 10?
Yep. And Vegas is fucking good.
Golds or overall medals?
Overall medals.
Wow. I wonder I wonder how they knew it was going to be so low.
Because they're fucking Vegas.
Yes.
They know everything. I think that's part of the problem with the Olympics, though. You can't watch a couple hours at 8 o'clock at night. And if you're really into the Olympics, some of that stuff's already from the day before or earlier. So it's like, it's hard to really stay in tune with what's going on when it's, 18 time zones away.
But you said that you're a Winter Olympics guy, right?
Allegedly.
But out of the two, out of summer and winter, you're a winter guy.
Well, if they had a spring Olympics, I'd be into that. But yeah.
They don't. So you're a winter. And you were too, Brett?
No, I like the summer games.
Yeah, I do too. Well, whatever. Wow.
Who cares? We're drunk.
We talked that long about fucking Zapolsky.
Yampolsky, Zapolsky, cats and dogs.
This one is a good one. Here, I'm gonna put this on the screen here for those of you that are watching, and you can check this out. This is JJ Redick. He was wishing our Chinese brethren a happy Chinese New Year.
I just wanted to wish all of the NBA fans in China a very.
Did you hear that? Let's try that. Well, let's do that again.
Jazz. I just wanted to wish all of the NBA fans in China a very.
So, obviously, it sounds like he's dropping a slur, right? It does.
I mean, that's your opinion.
It can be construed that you're seeing him drop a slur, and that's not debatable, right? He's come out and apologized for it, said that he got tongue tied. He certainly didn't mean it. Blah 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 blah. First of all, do you even hear it?
Yes.
You do. Okay. Okay. So you do hear him say, Brett's not even answering right now.
Wait, why is Brett not answering?
I don't know. He's got a look on his face like I fed him a turd sandwich.
Well, why do you think I'm drinking Sensei tonight?
Oh,
I
obviously.
heard it.
So, I mean, clearly he didn't mean to say it, right? So, number one,
Are you sure about that?
he didn't mean to say that. Come on. What person says something like that? He didn't mean to say that.
Okay, Jeff, let's back up the truck. What kind of person says stuff like that? There's plenty of people in this country that say shit like that. So maybe he thought it was funny or he's going to get a laugh and he slipped up and he's like, I probably shouldn't have said that.
I really don't think that's what it was. And
Okay.
let's even say that he did mean to say it. Who the hell at NBA.com that's editing their video package is like, you know what? I'm going to put this in there.
That's a great point.
They have like a little cross dissolve afterwards too. So clearly it was edited. Like, you can't hook up JJ Redick. You have to make him look like a racist asshole.
Like you can't just cut the whole segment and be like, we're not going to use JJ.
You know what, JJ? You haven't played in a while. You're injured. We're just not putting you in the package.
JJ, you blatantly said, I'd like to wish all the Chink fans. And for that reason, we're editing it.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Who cares?
Louisville has to vacate their 2013 national championship in basketball.
Yeah. So here's what I don't get about this. No, don't hit it just yet because I agree. Oh, you can hit it, but we're still going to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Why does this matter to anybody? Like, are you really taking it away? Like, those guys won it, and it's been like 4 years, and so what? There were some strippers and a thing, and the dancer, whatever. Like, are they really taking it away from anybody?
No,
Truly.
as much as they took away Reggie Bush's Heisman.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
You've got conflicting statements there. Like,
that's just your opinion.
Are they taking it away? Yeah, record wise, fine. Take whatever the hell you want away. They'd still right. We all watched it. We all watched the tournament. We watched
the players lived it. They won it. They're not. It doesn't lessen their accomplishment because they had some.
Take away whatever you want. Second,
but entertainment.
The first part of it wasn't that they had some strippers like that. That's not really what happened here.
That was part of it.
What happened here was that it was like one of the most egregious acts of lack of oversight in any kind of college athletics, including the Sandusky crap. So
I don't agree with you.
I didn't say it was worse than that, but it's among the worst.
Is there more to the story than allegedly? By the way, it still hasn't been confirmed. It's still alleged that there was entertainment provided to prospective players, or is there more than just that?
I don't think that was ever alleged. I think that was confirmed.
It's still written as allegedly on ESPN.com today.
I don't think that's the issue. The issue now becomes the money laundering crap. That's the issue. Is that this Hall of Fame fucking college basketball coach was just a complete dirtbag.
But is anyone shocked?
I'm not shocked at all. But
I don't know. I just think like let's just. Okay, maybe here's the better way to phrase it, Jeff. What's a better sanction, right? Like taking away something that's already happened. That's not a punishment. Like, it's not a punishment. Oh, they got to vacate all their wins and their national championship. Bullshit. It doesn't matter. They won that. They're not taking that away. How about you impose some kind of fine or some ban from tournament play or something moving forward?
Here's the issue I have with that. And I understand why you're saying it, but here's the issue I have with that. It's the same issue I have with the Penn State argument. You're now punishing people that had absolutely nothing to do with this. So
you mean the players?
Yeah, the guys that are there now that had absolutely nothing to do with it. So suddenly, or the entire new administration or entire new student body, like now your college can't participate in, these events that.
Okay, but it's
because of something that somebody prior to them did.
It's just asking for forgiveness. So like, oh, okay, don't worry, we're going to launder money and we're going to send some entertainment to lure some players to come to Louisville. And no big deal. We'll win a national championship and maybe we'll have to vacate it, but there won't be any sanctions above and beyond that.
Whatever. I think the point of the matter is, Dave, is that there is no accurate punishment. because
Although you called me David, so you're serious now.
sorry, you can't retroactively go back and punish the guys that were involved in the crap beforehand.
All right, fine. I guess the point is, I think it's silly to be like, oh, they vacate. No, they didn't vacate shit. They won that fucking championship, and that's that.
It's worse than silly. It's absolute fucking nonsense. It's nonsense. It's the same thing they did when they were like, oh, Paterno didn't win those games. Or they take away some of Boeheim's wins. Or they take away Calipari's Final Four. It's fucking ridiculous. It all happened.
Stupid.
We lived through it. It happened. Like, would you ever expect the NFL to turn around and say, well, you know, Tom Brady got caught with deflated football, so we're really going to take that Super Bowl away from this? That would never happen, ever.
It'd be great if it did, though.
But it wouldn't, because it's nonsense, because we all watched it happen. It's just it's friggin' fugazi. The whole
And
thing.
that's why that particular line is in. Who cares?
I'm not saying this one. So
Why?
whoever put this in,
I did. I put it in because I heard it today.
Oh
And
my God, this is epic.
I love it. I'll explain why. But
I would love to pay this much for a mediocre quarterback too.
I that was what was most astonishing to me, was the numbers. Now, you know, obviously
nobody else knows what you're talking about, because it's.
I'm saying it.
Shut up.
I'm getting to it. It's called, what's it called in the industry? I don't know, but
a tease.
yeah, I'm slow building.
It's called 11% beers around the horn.
For our local guys, the Jets appear to be going all in for Kirk Cousins, and by that, and apparently from certain media reports, I know Rich Cimini was on Michael K today, kind of talking about it, that the orders have come down from on high, pretty much going, we'll do whatever it takes, and they're talking 50 to 52. They're talking,
Oh my
50 to
God.
$52 million, as high as even $60 million in the first year of this deal for Kirk Cousins. They want him badly, so they're going to go after him. And I don't get to say this enough, Jeff, because I don't think a lot of the moves they do are good. I swear I'm taking off Patriot color glasses here. I'm a big Kirk Cousins fan. I think this is a good move. I'd go out and get him if my team was in a position to do this. The Jets have like $90 million to spend.
That doesn't mean
going for this, I still don't think they'd be completely hamstrung trying to build around other pieces, and they have to draft well. But I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy, so I'm all for it.
Jeff's
But I
not
have a
even-
feeling it's going to be just me and you on this one.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think, living here in Washington and having, listened to the sports media here about Kirk Cousins for the last several years, I think a lot of people, the general consensus was that they're just relieved it's over, because everyone here was getting tired of talking about Kirk Cousins and are we going to sign him to a long-term deal? And, oh my God, are we going to franchise him 3 years in a row for the first time in NFL history? I don't think that's ever happened. But he is, he's a good average middle of the road quarterback. If you were telling me that you were going to pay this much money for a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees or an Aaron Rodgers in their prime, or a Peyton Manning or something like that, today, okay, in their prime, but this is Kirk Cousins, okay? And let the Minnesota Vikings be the perfect example of decent quarterback play at a reasonable cost, getting you somewhere. 50, just because you have $90 million doesn't mean you need to spend 50 of it on Kirk Cousins. Guy can't even play in the Meadowlands.
First of all, that's the going rate for a quarterback.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And you better get Jace out there throwing and working on his arm now, because I'm going to ride the coattails.
Jimmy Garoppolo's made 7 career starts. He's making $140 million. That's the way this quarterbacks are going to be paid going forward.
How does that make any sense?
Take the money aside for just 1 second.
Okay.
And I know it's impossible to separate the two. So that's not what I'm asking you to do. But let's not talk about the money for just.
Okay. Finances are gone.
And this was a point that was made today on, I forget what show, that I think is accurate. It doesn't reflect necessarily what my thoughts are, but I think it is accurate. So I'm gonna walk you through an exercise, and I want you both to take part in it. Now, Brett, you're closer to this situation because you're an AFC fan. Yampo, you're a Giant fan, so you spend a lot of your time having watched Cousins. You saw him at least twice a year.
More than that.
Well, you live in DC, so you probably watch them a lot more than that. If you were to put Kirk Cousins in the AFC, so take him out of the NFC, what quarterbacks, and there are some, what quarterbacks are better than him?
Brady.
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger.
It's definitely those two.
I'm trying to just go through the team. I mean, I wish I could say Andrew Luck, but
Mm.
honestly,
He's not healthy.
He's just not. Yeah, he's just
Jury's still out on Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, I think, is
But he's
going.
but
I got it.
Who
I
knows?
know.
So here's the deal, right? If you put him on in the
Alex Smith. I'm sorry.
if you put him in the AFC, there are definitely two guys that are better than him.
And one is 41 years old.
Both of them
38.
every year may retire. So in theory,
Phillip Rivers.
at some point during the
Rivers.
length of this proposed Cousins contract, both Brady and Roethlisberger will retire, which would then maybe make him, if not the best, still in the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the AFC.
He's
That's
in
a pretty.
the past 3 seasons. He's in top 5 passer rating. So
Yeah, but he's still making. Oh, all right. I'm gonna say this statement, and I'm gonna say something about Eli Manning, because he does the same thing. But you still see some throws from Kirk where you're like, hey, he's still making that throw, man. You know, the throws that you don't see Rodgers make or Brady make or Breeze make. You know,
I agree with you.
he's still making those throws. And listen, to be fair, Eli Manning does that shit all the time. But the fact that Eli's got 2 Super Bowls kind of absconds him from extra criticism, I suppose. But I just don't. I mean, I get it, Jeff. It's a good point. You know,
Look,
it's just a sad commentary on how much we're paying quarterbacks.
I totally agree with you. But in a world where Joe Flacco is capable of winning a Super Bowl,
Oh yeah, we forgot Joe Flacco.
Kirk Cousins is capable of winning a Super Bowl.
In a world where Joe Flacco
World where Joe Flacco
this fall
takes
Rutherford.
wife beating Ray Rice to a Super Bowl championship.
Whatever happened to the guy who did the voiceovers in the 90s for all the movies? He was epic.
In a world where this guy is no longer working.
I think his name is Pablo Francisco.
No way, is it?
No, that's the stand-up comedian that mimics that guy.
Your jokes don't make sense to me.
I know.
Here's the deal. There's I was silent for a long time. There's absolutely no fucking rationale on God's green earth that you pay any player in the National Football League $60 million.
No.
It's
not.
just the first year, though.
Okay, but hold on.
There's also
Listen.
no rationale, which is what has also been floated out there. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever to fully guarantee any contract in the National Football League.
That's exactly right.
This Mickey Mouse fucking organization decides to do that, then I don't, there's nothing.
Don't talk about the Devils like that.
Nothing I can say to defend it. Here's my take. I've watched this regime now since Mikey Mack took over, and I don't think this is coming from him. And I don't think that this is what they're going to do. If anything, I think maybe they're muddying the waters. So the worst run franchise in professional sports decides to pony up $60 million in a year in the Cleveland Browns and signs the guy, and then they don't take that first quarterback off the board. If anything, I think it's espionage. I don't think
that's actually not true. I actually got a text just now from our former college football analyst Sean Farrell, who said Woody Johnson just followed Kirk Cousins on Instagram.
Oh shit, it's
over. You heard it here first on Low
Do
and
they
Outside.
have Instagram in the United Kingdom?
Who cares?
Kirk Cousins signs with the Jets. So you heard it here first.
Royale with cheese.
I like the espionage ploy though. It's great.
I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's like a deep state.
What's their draft position though?
The Jets?
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so they've got like at least 3 quarterbacks coming down the pike there.
They're gonna.
Yeah, probably.
If I had my choice with
I had my druthers
with what's going to be available, there's no way I'd sign Cousins. I'd take Baker Mayfield at 6.
Nah, no way. Not me. We will disagree. I will agree with you that if they give him a fully guaranteed contract, they are idiots.
I wouldn't do any of it.
I would rather have Mason out of Oklahoma State, take him, prototypical quarterback, and sign someone on a flyer for a year.
I'd take Baker and I'd re-sign McCown.
I can't wait to play this episode in a year.
You could have McCown do it, or you could listen. There's 3 quarterbacks. There's 3 quarterbacks in Minnesota. 2 of them aren't going to be there next year.
You have 3 quarterbacks. You have no quarterbacks.
I do like Teddy Bridgewater too. Before he got hurt, I liked what he was doing, but I still think, look, at the end of the day, if they sign Cousins and they overpay for him, that is what the quarterback market is, and whether we like it or not, that's just the reality of what professional football is right now with that position. I think it hamstrings your organization to make the moves you need to compete year in and year out. I mean, there's a reason why the greatest quarterback of all time is not the highest paid quarterback, in the league ever. He's smart enough to not destroy his franchise with a contract, even though he's married to a woman who makes more than what he makes, so he's able to do that.
Well, but that leads me to a good point, Jeff. This is a point I wanted to put up to the two of you, because Kirk Cousins went from making, I think, like 900 something thousand in the last year, maybe just over $1 million in his last year
before he
got franchised, and then he went to 19 million guaranteed, right? And then the year after he got franchised again, 24 million guaranteed. Okay, so the guy doesn't need money. All right, so, and he's played for the turd fucking Skins for 4 years now, 5 years, and you really want to go take 50, 60 million to be with the Jets? Like, don't you think you probably have enough money at this point that maybe you could take a little bit less and go try and win somewhere that has a real shot?
With Denver?
Denver was not any good. Like, everybody.
Denver still got a defense.
Yeah, and they're old. They're old as fuck.
They're not that old. They're a couple years removed from a Super Bowl.
They're old. They're old. You go to Denver now, you have at a maximum a 2-year window. And
so
then
give me 35 million. Give me 35 million in a 2-year window.
Then you're sitting on this Jets team for 3 years.
Yeah, you got
old overpaid guys that John Elway's gonna have to figure out what to do with. So
I'm just saying, you're Kirk Cousins. You're about to take a long-term deal somewhere. You want to go somewhere where you have a chance to win, in my opinion. If I'm him,
I don't disagree, but I would.
And you agree?
I would go to if I'm him and I have my choice out of any team that needs a quarterback right now. I'm looking at two places. I'm looking to see if Jacksonville can dump the dumpster fire that's Bortles, or I'm going to freaking Arizona. I'm not going to either Denver or the Jets.
Exactly.
He could also decide to take a small pay cut this year and sit in the bench in New England behind Tom Brady.
Oh, shut up!
Take the reins in about 2-3 years.
But the worst part about that is, who cares?
No, I can't.
I think I ended to who cares.
That would be an unbelievable. That would be an unbelievable mindfuck. Kirk Cousins is like, yo, Tom, how many years you got left? He's gonna be like, I don't know, like 2, maybe 3.
Who cares?
I'll come sit on the bench.
Who cares? Who cares?
I can't do it. Stop, please. It's making my ears bleed.
Where's Paul?
Baseball is just around the corner.
Come on.
At least we don't have to listen to Nick laughing and cutting everyone off and then talking about his dumb food blog.
Oh, boy, 11%.
I am excited, man. Look at this. I mean, this is it. This week.
Oh.
We're talking. It's Wednesday now on this podcast.
They play the Tigres on Friday?
The Tigres, Friday at 1:05.
Did you see people losing their shit that, like, the first batting practice, they weren't launching balls into the stands?
Yeah, I know. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be a nightmare for them.
Like, am I alone? I don't care how many home runs they hit if they win. Like, I really don't give a shit
either.
It's not even that. It's just disgruntled people that live in Tampa. They only get like 6 weeks of this.
That's not true. You know that shit's coming north, pal.
Maybe it's coming north, but they're going to have batting practice. These guys are professionals. They take batting practice every fucking day. They're going to be launching balls.
What Jeff's talking about is when these guys aren't at 20 dingers each, a month and a half, 2 months into the season, 2 months into the season, everyone's going to be like, what happened to murderers? Or like, I'm a little nervous about all this media hype that's going into this.
I'm not going to sit here and defend the calmness of the New York media. Of course they'll freak out, if they go, 10 games apiece without hitting their first home run. But at the end of the day, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, right. It's a long season. These guys
you can't win the division. Fine. You can't win the division in April, but you can certainly
lose it.
Great.
That's baseball, David.
Yeah.
Well, David, that's baseball.
Thanks, Dad.
I don't put much stock into any of it. I think they're going to be good. There's no reason to assume otherwise.
I don't love they let Frazier go.
I don't either, but
you guys talked about it last week, but I
also have on here, like, Moustakas is still not signed. Like, camps have opened, the games are starting.
They just picked up Drury from Arizona
I would have picked up Moustakas and a souvlaki with a side of lamb gyro.
About 2 hours ago, or maybe earlier, 3 hours ago. It's a good move. That's a.
I don't think Moustakas is built for that short porch though. I mean, I think
They have enough guys. They really do for the money that Moustakas is commanding. Enough guys that are built. Greg Bird is built for that porch.
Yeah,
and then they have Stanton and Judge on the opposite end. Like they have enough of that stuff. They need guys that can play a little defense, and I think Drury's a great addition. I'm excited for him to go in there and shore up one of the second base, third base gaps before Andujar's ready and Torres comes up in the middle of April.
But so I'm obviously biased here, being a Yankee fan like you guys. But doesn't this year start to feel like it used to feel back in like the mid '90s, the early 2000s, where you like look at this lineup?
Hope so.
You look at this lineup from top to bottom, and you're like, I don't really want to pitch to anybody, and the only person that really doesn't make me nervous is Headley. I mean, you got Gardy. Go ahead.
Headley's gone.
Yeah, there's no Headley.
Oh wow, who's playing third?
That's what I mean.
It's Andujar or Brandon Jury that they just picked up, or
okay, so third base is the hole.
Third base and second base are the holes.
Second are holes. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the concept is that Torres is gonna play second. Is that the thought? Like not right away. He's not gonna break camp at second. Is that the thought, or is he gonna play third?
Glaber will play probably second, but I don't know. I got to see what they're working him out as during the spring. But they're gonna, wherever I guess they feel comfortable. I don't know, but I thought he was second. And I thought Andujar was going to get a look at third base.
I thought you were right about that, but I just those are definitely holes. Like I think the fact that we're ignoring the fact that they don't have two major league necessarily ready guys to play two major positions on the diamond, that could be a problem. I mean, defensively, that could be an issue.
Drury solves one of those problems. Honestly, he's a major league, very solid player. He's a plug-in player. He's going to get the job done.
Can you bring up whatever he did last year so we have a clue as to what we're dealing with there? Who was he playing on last year?
Arizona.
All right. Dave, I think my bigger concern, aside from those two spots, you're talking about how you can't pitch to anybody. I think my bigger concern is I'm not sure that they've got the depth in the rotation, not the top four guys or even the top five guys, but in a baseball season, you've got to have six guys, or at least six guys, probably seven guys that can make starts for you throughout the year.
That's true.
I'm not convinced they have that.
I got a lot of Drury's stats from last year.
I think that's a piece of those 90s and 2000 teams that was always there.
Right. There was always just some random guy that they could go to.
Like if they had like three or four guys, like three good guys, and then they signed like Randy Johnson for like 2 years. I got a couple of years out of him.
Right. Or Kevin Brown.
I forgot that Bruno Mars got traded he got traded to the Marlins. Starlin Castro.
Was that in the Russell Wilson deal?
You don't think he looks like Bruno Mars?
A little bit.
A little bit. I can see it.
If I was him, I'd come out to 24 karat gold.
All right, what do you got in way of stats there, Brett?
So
a couple of ribbies, couple of
Drury, his WAR was 1.6. He had 119 hits. He hit 267, 13 home runs, 63 RBIs.
Yeah, how many strikeouts?
How many at bats?
He had 445 at bats.
And how many hits?
119.
Not very good.
He's a second baseman. Remember, he's going to bat near the bottom of the order.
Yeah. How many stolen bases?
He only had one stolen base.
Yeah, see that's the issue for me. If he's going to play in the bottom of the order and you want to turn that order around.
Castro didn't steal bases. You know,
Castro did a lot of other things very well.
Castro got hits. He got a lot of hits, and he hit like 300 last year, which was above his career.
Yeah, above his baseball card. Yeah,
average. So I don't see the problem here. He's got very good defense. He's a great fielder.
I think the Torres twins got to handle second.
Whatever. The problem is with all that we have with all Yankee fans is we look at it and we're like, well, what do you mean there's not an all-star at second and third?
Yeah. What? We don't have Robbie Cano?
Right.
What?
No.
What was the other guy's name?
Steve Sachs.
Oh yeah. No, the guy who was the guy who got traded to the Cubs. And then the Nats.
Chapman?
No. The second baseman back in the day with the high socks.
Soriano?
Oh yeah, Soriano.
Yeah.
That was what you were thinking of, right?
Yes.
That's exactly right.
I don't know.
I have restless legs from this Brett Gardner 11% beer right now.
Are you wearing the high socks like Gardner wears? Because
Well, I just sat back in this tiny chair and I think I cracked it.
who do you have here that signed for 8 years, 144 today?
Hosmer. Did I not spell that?
Oh
right?
God, why?
Because he did. It
Over-
wasn't today. It was like yesterday or 2 days ago. But he signed with San Diego. And I had, we were talking a lot about Harper and Machado and what they were going to command on the market, and last week and what Kershaw is going to command on the market. And my theory behind it is, I was glad that it was a slow free agent market this year, because I think those massive 10-year deals are going to be a thing of the past now. You don't want to pay for anybody's past. You want to pay for their, present and future. And then, these types of deals come along and kind of prove that really it's, more of the same. And Scott Boras
I think the Martinez deal was not at all what they thought they were going to get.
5 for 110, right? What was
He was asking for like 7 and like 210, wasn't he? I mean, he was asking for a lot more.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he took a discount there because he wants to go to a team that's ready.
What a novel concept.
He took the Kirk Cousins discount because he wants to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Colt
I don't know
Give me
if
the
he
Colt 45 with the Doral.
But apparently San Diego thought it was worth it to make a splash with
When are they going to learn? Like
Hosmer.
in 4 years, they're 3 years, they're dumping that salary.
And that's the problem with baseball, is that they're fully guaranteed contracts. So
They're going to change their team name to Whale's Vagina.
what I have been seeing though with a lot of these deals in baseball recently, and Martinez has it in his as well, is these opt-outs after 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it like you're like, oh, he signed an 8-year deal, but really it could be. I think Hosmer has an opt-out after 5 and 6 or something like that.
First guy that I really remember that happening with was Sabathia. Like when Sabathia signed that first deal with the Yanks, he had an opt out after like 2 years. I want to say when he
A-Rod's came first.
did it.
Yeah. A-Rod opted out in the 2007 World Series, the one the Red Sox won.
Right. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I remember where I was sitting in college. Was it 2004 they signed him?
He traded for him, yeah.
Yeah, it was my senior year, and everyone on the, I went to school with a bunch of massholes, and they wanted him so hard on the Red Sox.
They almost had him.
They almost did.
I remember opening up ESPN.com, or what was ESPN.com.
And they had a
in
picture of
those days.
LeBron.
And A-Rod was on the front of ESPN.com in Red Sox gear
With LeBron?
with LeBron. And it was like, it was put across the line, Red Sox trade for Alex Rodriguez.
And LeBron James.
And then like an hour later, things got.
They didn't. An hour later, they didn't trade for him at all. And then the next day, he was a Yankee.
He was a Yankee.
I feel like the recipe for disaster for Brett podcasting is a Devil's Game on Live and an 11% beer from Germany.
Not a good. It's not from Germany. It's from freaking northern.
I know where it's from.
Atlantic Islands.
It's Craig Carton's illegal tax beer.
I watch that guy tweet sometimes, and honestly, like all of his replies, he's got like 7 replies.
You like stand next to him when he tweets?
He's like, my man, pots and pans.
God, has there ever been a quicker fall from grace for a guy who just gambled on sports? Like, okay, so he got in a little over his head.
A little?
No, there's not.
Couple mil.
Yuck.
A couple too many zeros for my taste. Hold on, you skipped over Don Mattingly and Harper.
Okay.
Maybe
I would have thrown this under who cares.
Well, maybe because I root for the Nationals down here in the old National League.
In the nation's capital.
He's right. Don Mattingly's right. Don Mattingly is
tell the story. Not everybody pays attention to what it is.
Okay, sorry. Harper was making comments about the offseason moves by the Marlins.
Which, how could you not? He was probably asked it. He probably didn't just grab a microphone and go, guys, I'd like to talk about the Marlins moves.
Of course. I'm not an idiot. I get it. I hate the media. They're all fucking savage assholes looking for handouts.
He was like, so if you guys have 10 minutes, we'd like to talk about the be in the
Here's my soliloquy on the Marlins offseason.
And he's not wrong. No one knows what they're doing. Like,
okay,
what
they set him up. They set him up. He answered it and said, I don't know why they traded away their entire outfield. And then Don Mattingly felt the need to come to Jeter's defense and say, he should mind his business and worry about his own team. And he's not wrong. I just love Donnie baseball. Always will.
And that's a good manager, like just being out there and being like, hey, fuck you. You don't know what we got going on.
How does Don Mattingly not end up the next manager of the Yankees? Like,
they haven't wanted Donnie, man.
Why?
I don't know. He lost
we
out
want
to
Aaron
Girardi
Boone because he hit one fucking home run.
off a knuckleballer.
My opinion is when Donnie grows his mustache back, he can come back. Until the mustache comes, like the clean shaven Donnie baseball. I'm not a fan of.
It's gonna be like Scott Brocious showing up next year to be our manager after Boone gets fired.
He had that stupid soul patch too. Do you just remember that when he was in LA? Ugh,
I think there'll be a time and place still for.
You know who else had a fucking soul patch? Jason Varitek, dick.
And Jason Giambi.
The Giambino. I can't wait.
Give me one more of those scotch and Peptos. I got a case of squirts, but I still want to drink.
Last call.
All righty, what do you got? Anything that
we get another sensei?
I'm not addressed.
I got one.
Okay, breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news. You're gonna take
breaking news. The Miami Dolphins have franchise tagged Jarvis Landry.
Led the league in catches.
Hey, Ben. Miss you. Thinking about you. How about me going to a meeting and doing this before I go?
Not so fast, Pat Sajak. Never gets old. Apparently, he got signed $16 million and a bag of Coke.
I'm a big fan of Jarvis. I'll tell you, if you could get me a Kirk Cousins to Jarvis Landry connection in a game, I'd go from 6 to midnight in a second.
Well, unfortunately for you, it's going to be Tana Cutler.
Jarvis Landry is 1 year away from being Wes Welker 2.0.
I want him so bad.
Here's the thing. This sets the stage for OBJ to get paid more than $16 million next year on the franchise tag.
Yuck.
Good. Don't cripple that budget. Good.
Yeah, that'll be fun. You have fun with that, and he can continue to,
$100 million quarterback, receiver wants to be the highest paid, $200 million defense. That's good.
Oh yeah, you guys couldn't even beat the fucking Eagles this year. You jerk off.
2-14. What was that?
Backup quarterback Nick Foles fucking wiped the floor with you.
They wiped the floor with you guys too.
Well, no, actually they didn't.
The Eagles did.
They didn't.
They didn't.
But thanks.
Uggles.
They didn't.
Elliott hit a field goal as time expired in the first game from 61 yards to win.
Elliott.
And Nick Foles beat us on a last-second touchdown at the end.
Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. Nick Foles.
It's an embarrassment. Your team is just going down the shitter. I can't wait. Now I'm just, you know what? Before I was rooting for you. Now I'm all against you. That's what the sensei will do.
Rooting for who? Me or him?
No, I'm talking to fucking Brett.
Oh, good. Because you can't root against me. I mean,
never.
No, but I will say that 30 for 30 on the Bills really brought me back up to speed on that whole transaction, how that whole thing went down. I had totally not really been paying attention to that when I was, I don't know, what were we? That was 99.
We're in juniors in college.
So we were junior, senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention as much as I would be paying attention now. And watching that whole thing unfold the way that went down with the Jets and the Pats, that was a fucking mess, man.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
And by the way, same for the Giants.
Yeah, totally.
Belichick could have been that coach for the Giants, and he could have been there. He could still be there.
We won more than 2 Super Bowls.
I don't think he would have been ready there, though.
Yeah, that's fair. But still, the way that whole thing went down was like, really?
Like when he left the Jets for the Pats, he was ready. And
he was ready to just fucking lay hellfire to everyone who fucked him on the way out.
That's why it stings, because that it could have been a contender.
Could you imagine if it was the other way around and Brett was like the Jersey boy who liked the Pats?
I sent Jeff that text.
He would be a Jet fan. He'd be like, I always loved Parcells, dude. I loved him.
And they would have drafted Tom Brady.
I love Freeman McNeil and Ken O'Brien.
I'd have somebody else to go to games with. It'd be my brother, me, and Brett. We'd all be wearing our friggin',
green Brady jersey.
Oh, you'd have your Al Toon jersey on.
Oh, can you imagine what Earth 2 would be like if Brady was a Jet and we won all those Super Bowls?
Oh my God!
First of all, totally owning up to it. If the Jets ever had a run like the Pats have had for the last 20 years, it would be the most intolerable fan base imaginable.
God.
They would be horrible. They would make Eagles fans look like
not possible.
Ice capades.
Not possible.
It would be awful. Miserable. We'd be miserable people to be around.
I feel like there's 5 fan bases you could say that about.
Yeah, and they're all in this area.
Yeah,
Philly,
well,
New York,
I'd say the two New York teams, the Patriots, the Eagles, and then I'd probably go out west and say like Oakland or like San Francisco,
Dallas.
or maybe like, huh?
Dallas.
Oh, yeah,
Dallas is the worst.
Yeah, but they haven't won shit in 20-something years.
Yeah, but when they did, they were like, "How about them Cowboys, America's team?" Like, go, fucking shit in your hat, Jerry Jones. You stink.
Yeah, football was a different game then.
Who broke?
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Who broke that news about Landry? Which one?
I did.
All right,
Oh, ESPN.
Brett, what do you got? Anything?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
NFL Network.
I got one, and Dave, this is your opportunity to reach through the computer screen and slap me. And I know Nick will appreciate this, but the Brooklyn Nets are going to honor Drazen Petrovic, his legacy on February 26th.
But how does that make sense?
They're going to have a retro theme night to kind of celebrate his legacy. Because the guy freaking died, man, after playing 2 seasons. He was like on pace to be their best player ever, and he died. And that's what they're doing. They're
Oh, I get it. He was
honoring
awesome.
him.
But they already retired his jersey. What are they doing?
Yeah, they're just honoring him. They're giving his mom's going to be there. They're going to do a video tribute showing his legacy. They're going to give this is awesome, and I like want to go to this game because of this. They're going to be giving out a Drazen Petrovic starting lineup figurine to the first 10,000 fans in attendance.
They made so many of them. They're just giving them away.
I want one so bad. How many are
going to get left in the streets?
In Brooklyn? A lot. A couple will fall off the back of a truck too.
Ba-da-dum-bum.
So I don't know. I just think that's cool. Thank you for.
I don't think Nick even knows who Drazen Petrovic is.
I 100% don't think he was born. There's no way he was born.
He was definitely not born, but he definitely knows who he is.
And by the way, we just saved the listeners, 50 minutes of their eardrums by not having to listen to Nick cackle drunkenly over an 11% beer. Fucking guy would be unbearable.
It's not nice.
Makes a mean fajita though.
He does. And a chicken pot pie to boot.
Thanks for taking the time, everybody. We appreciate you checking in with us. Follow us, Low Outside Sport, on the Twitter. And
we should do a show tomorrow.
Lowandoutside.com. Tomorrow? What do you want to do the show on tomorrow?
I don't know, but that would be like, we did a show today. We'll do a show tomorrow.
It'll be like back to back.
And a belly to belly.
I still want to do our politics show.
Yeah, I don't want to participate in that.
Yes,
do not drink beers during that.
I don't want to participate on Facebook Live. I don't want to participate on anywhere where someone I know could see me talking.
That's good. I think you should put more thought into all of that.
That fucking Instagram beefcake. Sensei.
Goodbye.
Desperandum, dear lady. Across the desert lies the promised land. Goodbye, Mrs. Gloop. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. Gesundheit. Farewell.
Fare thee well to you, my own true love. River Mercy, fare thee well. I am bound for California, a place that I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that's grieving me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
Hey, babe.